There we go. Just to reintroduce myself. Hey, it's Tracy, your Soulful Success Coach. And I'm here to talk to you today about what I learned at a recent Jack Canfield and Raymond event. I had so many breakthroughs, and as a coach, I think it's so important to show up and learn more things all the time. I absolutely am a student as well as a coach and a mentor, and I love to fill up my cup with continually doing that because I think it is so important and so many lessons to be found in that. And see here, I had some weird little, here we go. So I wanted to talk to you about the top 2 lessons I learned. I actually was going to come on with only one, but I feel like it's so important to talk about these 2 things because one was a personal breakthrough I had, and one was just a beautiful lesson that I learned. Actually, I think I'm going to give you 3 tips because I think these were pretty juicy. So let me start with the first biggest tip that I learned, the biggest new expression and definition on what money is. And this was from Raymond who was a speaker at the event. So Raymond says that money is an agreement backed by confidence. And that is it. That is all money is. Money is energy. And so how do we exchange money? How do we trade money? We trade it for value. We trade it based on an agreement backed by confidence. So how confident are you when you are putting yourself out there as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, as a coach, as a creative? What confidence are you bringing to the conversation that you're having? What energy are you bringing to the conversation you're having about having a conversation with somebody else about a potential project you're working on? Or it could be about just you providing value, maybe on a Facebook Live like I'm doing now, right? What is the intention behind it, and where is the confidence coming from? Well, confidence definitely does come in part from intention, and also it is based on what your focus is and what your belief system is, right? Because if you believe that money is negative or bad, then you could have the intention to serve somebody, but you are not going to be energetically open to wanting to receive money from them in exchange for your services. And that not only limits you in being able to serve other people, because if you're not willing to accept the money and to create a value or a money-based price on what your needs are and what you need to do to stay sustainable because you have a belief about money, then it's going to be hard for you to serve on a greater level, right? So your confidence level goes down. Another tip about confidence is, as women, we are great at telling others yes. We always say yes, and then we work and find ways to get it done. But what are you aligning your yeses to? Are you aligning it to only what someone else is asking you to do? Or are you starting with the intention of what you intend to spend your time doing and what you intend to offer as far as your gifts and services, right? You get a choice in what that is. And when you don't feel confident in being able to state that as this is a non-negotiable, this is what my need is, this is what I'm trading, this is the time I'm going to trade in exchange for this value, this is the information, this is the product, whatever it is, the deliverable that I'm going to exchange in trade for the money and the value, well, then you're not backing that by confidence either, because the confidence is kind of a false state of confidence, right? It's kind of like, I know I can do it. I know I want the money. I know I want to be of service, But if you're not aligned to that being something that you truly want on more than just the level of exchange money for service, then you're not going to be ultimately confident about offering it, right? You can offer it, but who are you attracting in the offer? You will attract more people when you're showing up with that level of confidence and knowingness that you can serve that person. So I feel like that was a really huge takeaway. The second tip I want to offer you is this conversation about having a coach versus not having a coach and how far can you progress. The word quantum leap came up quite a bit. That is absolutely words that I use in my business because I have myself quantum leaped on a personal level, personal growth level, spiritual level, and business level when I have invested in mentors and a coach. Why is that? Well, one is the accountability factor. One is that when you are showing up and being accountable to someone, accountable to your commitment, goes back to feeling confident in what you want to get, what you want to achieve, what you want to give, right? And then you have that other person there helping you work through what that looks like, how to break that down in your day-to-day, because really, what are we really exchanging? Outside of money, we're exchanging energy, we're exchanging time. And time isn't something that you can get back. Once time is gone, time is gone. So how do you want to spend your time? Well, wouldn't you like to quantum leap that beyond how you are currently progressing now if you don't have a coach? And I want to give you an example of this, of how just being in this room and being open to being coachable completely shifted something for me at this event. So on the third day, Jack Canfield showed up for the event, and he has an exercise. It's a Jack Canfield exercise. So I'm going to show you a little sheet here and give him credit for that because it's from the Canfield training group. This is a sheet that was handed out to us that has a bunch of numbers on it. I think it has 50, it has 50 numbers. And he was making a point on multitasking. So I do want to talk to you about multitasking, but first I want to talk to you about my personal transformation from this exercise and how it shifted for me because a coach walked me through a process which changed the very core of a belief I had that was blocking one of my next levels of success. And when you're working with a coach and when you're working with me, this is what happens. We are able to bust through blocks that could have been holding you back for years. For years, it's something that you could have said, created and made a decision that this is what is your belief, right? We bring on about these thoughts, and then all of a sudden as children, we're like, that's a belief, I believe it, that's my belief, I'm taking it on, I'm taking ownership of it, and then we carry it with us for years and years and years, and it impacts the decisions we make, the people we talk to, the energy we bring, ultimately the confidence that we have, right? It's all about that believability. And so Jack walked us through a process where he gave us a sheet with 50 numbers on it, and the numbers are all over the page like a puzzle, and I'll show it to you in a second. All over the page, and we don't know the method or the madness to it. It's just seemingly these numbers are randomly put all over the page. He puts up a timer and says, watch the time. I want you to circle all of the numbers on the page in order, and then right at the top of your sheet, how many minutes it took you to do this. And so I had a core belief. It's no longer a belief thanks to this exercise, thanks to Jack coaching me through it. But I had a belief that I'm not very good with counting numbers or adding up numbers beyond a certain digit. It's not that I'm not smart. I'm very smart with numbers. I'm very conscientious about the numbers in my business and in my life. I keep track of numbers. It's not that. It was that, and again, it's really interesting where beliefs come from, but in a math class, I learned in a different way. I digested the information in a different way than the majority of a class did, right? type of learner that needs to see it, hear it, have it modeled for me in a way that I can really understand it, slow down to speak it to me so that I can really absorb it. If you are talking fast to me, if you're in a hurry, if you are working with 30 other children at the same time as me, I stress in that situation. As a child, I stressed in that situation. I remember it very well. I remember tests would freak me out. And so I had this belief. I was not confident, right? The teacher would not slow down to explain things for me. They were like, catch up, catch up, catch up. The whole class is, hey there. The whole class is working at this speed, and you, Tracy, are not working at the speed that the rest of the class is. I'm talking about the top lessons that I learned at the Jack Canfield event and how coaching is so impactful and powerful. And please introduce yourself in the comment section so I can see who's on board with me. But I am explaining this exercise that Jack Canfield walked us through about numbers and how I had, before I went to the event, I've had this limiting belief for years and years and years. A teacher told me I was not good with numbers. And it was because the way that I learn and digest information is differently than the majority of the children that were in the class with me. And so at test time, I would choke. I would literally be like, I can't do it. Like, oh my gosh, I would make myself wrong about it. I would just self-deprecate, all these things, and just have such compassion right now for my little 10-year-old self as I'm reliving this with you as I'm explaining it. But so Jack gave us an exercise with 50 numbers on it, and we had to circle the numbers as fast as we could, and the numbers are random across the page. And then we had to mark down the time that we completed it in. So here is my paper. So can you see how the numbers are random? Like the ones are like, there's one up here. The two is, I don't know, like somewhere over here. And we had to do it as fast as possible. Here was the shocking revelation. It was like my limiting belief busted in epic quantum levels. So I complete the task and I'm on a mission. I'm like, I'm not going to let my story of numbers affect me in this situation. I'm in a crowd of other people and I want to get this right. I'm in front of Jack Canfield. I want to get this right? I'm going to do this as quickly as possible. And I didn't stress about it. I just set the intention before I started the exercise. I'm going to do this as fast as I can. I'm not going to stress out about it. I'm just going to let myself concentrate and get it done. And so that's what I did. And I completed it at 2 minutes, 20 seconds. Now, do you know the first shocking thing that happened when I looked up? Because he said, and when you're done, look up. So I looked up. I was one of only 3 people. 3 people in a room of like 60 people that looked up first. I was one of 3 people in a room of 60 people that looked up first. What does that mean? Well, first I looked around. I looked to the left and right of my neighbors and I thought, oh my gosh, did I do the exercise wrong? I must have did the exercise wrong. That's what happened. That's the first thing I said to myself. And then I looked at somebody else. Someone else looked up and I whispered to him, can you tell me again what the exercise was so I make sure that I understood it? And he reflects to me what the exercise is. Oh no, I did it right. Okay. And so I'm blowing my own mind here, right? It's like, here I am thinking I'm going to be like all of a sudden my limiting belief did not apply. It was like I busted my own myth. Jack Canfield busted my own myth that I'm not good with numbers. Shocking. I mean, have you ever had that happen where you believed something and then you disproved it about yourself? Really hard to do, especially when you are on your own. That's why it's so important that that you work with a coach and a mentor, because this is what my clients experience, quantum breakthroughs. Now imagine had I kept this story how it impacts my life and decisions. So I ask you to think about it and the limiting stories that you are carrying through with you in your business decision making, in your life, in your relationships, how it is impacting you, how it's holding you back, and you don't even know it. And that is why we need coaches. That is why if you look at actors who are in a movie, there is a director. If you look at professional organizations like basketball organizations, professional basketball teams, they have a coach. We are not meant to go through this alone, right? And so that blew my mind. Here came the second part of it. Oh, actually, I showed you the wrong sheet. He had us do the sheet twice. My first number was 2 minutes, 43 seconds. But still, I was in the top 3. And so the second part of the exercise was he explained the method of the madness to this. Now, his whole point was that multitasking to leap forward in success is a lie. That you cannot multitask and do things as quickly than if you have a method and a process to help you along through it. If you're doing it randomly, it's going to take you longer. If you are shifting all over the place, henpecking, right, for these numbers, which is what I did the first time, that's what happens. It takes a longer amount of time. So he had us do it again, and he explained to us, actually, I'm not going to explain to you what it is, because I think this is so powerful, and I don't want to rob someone from the lesson if they do this, but I will tell you this. There is a method to the way the numbers are put on the page. And once he shared with us what the method was and the process on how to go about it faster, he timed us again. And so the second time I did it, I shaved off 23 seconds off my paper, and I was still within the top 5 when I looked up. And so all of this to say that you are telling yourself things just as I am. We are human. This is what we do. We tell ourselves something that we made up about ourselves because someone said something, or we made something mean something, and then we assigned a belief of what it meant as a child. And then we carry that forward. 100% we carry that forward. And I am excited to see what is going to shift in my life now that I know that I actually am quite great at numbers in a pressure situation, because I knew I was good at numbers if I had time, but in a pressure situation, I was not. As a matter of fact, we worked with thousands of gifts in my gift marketing business. And I always would joke with the staff, like, look, the adding is not my expertise. And so it was a big joke that anything above 25, it really was above anything above 10, but anything above 25, don't let Tracy count it. So we were doing quality control on thousands of gifts. And the big joke was like, okay, just don't let the boss add it up. Don't do it. It became a big joke. But it was a joke based on a belief that I had, right? And all this to say, the power of coaching is so incredible. And so I shared with you 2 of the top tips. I actually shared with you the third one as well, which is, so the first one is that what does money mean? Money is an agreement backed by confidence. What is your confidence based on? It's based on a belief you have about yourself and what you can accomplish. And also, we tend to make lower level agreements because we know we're confident we can do it, right? So when we are able to stretch our belief system and really blow our own minds with this quantum level of leaping, right? Literally, I went from believing something I believed for years, I'm not good with numbers in a testing situation, to disproving that with a coach, with not just a coach, with Jack Canfield. And now I don't have that belief anymore. And imagine, like, how is that going to affect me future forward? And so I invite you to do the same thing. Get a coach. I have some openings. I offer a free breakthrough call session. Now, look how quickly I was able to get a breakthrough by being coached. In under the whole thing, I think, took 10 minutes because he was explaining the process through the whole thing. But We busted a belief in under 10 minutes that has held me back my whole life in testing situations. That's quantum leap change. And you cannot quantum leap change by yourself at the same rate you can with a coach. So please join me for a free breakthrough call, which I will put in the comments, the link to sign up for a call. Now, I'm only available to do that this week. And honestly, I'm only available to do it Monday and Tuesday and a little bit of time on Wednesday. But why wait? What are you holding yourself back from that you do not even realize that is affecting your business? Can you do it alone? Absolutely, you can do it alone. The answers are all within inside you. Jack did not say to me, Tracy, I don't know what you're telling yourself, but that's not true. Like, I'm going to show you, I'm going to disprove to you how not true that is, that you are bad at numbers. That would not have given me any information to move forward. We actually talked it through and it came up with a plan. The plan was to do this exercise and then I got the breakthrough, right? And so I'm inviting to you the same transformation. You do not have to stay stuck. Here we are we're rolling into mid-March, like the spring equinox is around the corner. And I don't say this to stress you out. I say this with love, that you have a choice. You have a choice to either keep going at it alone as you're doing, or you have a choice to onboard with a mentor. I'm inviting you to join me and come on board with me. The breakthrough call is a free call. It's a 30-minute call that will give you clarity. It will give you a plan on how to move forward. It's going to give you some enlightenment on what might be holding you back as far as your belief system. And I want to help you through that because there is no reason for you to stay stuck. The personal development is absolutely as crucial as any business strategy that you are going to do because it is your belief system that takes you as far as you want to go and that you think you can go. And we are in business to make a big impact. We are in business to make money so that we can make a bigger impact. It's absolutely tied together. And I want to help you break through and quantum leap in your own life and your own business so that you are no longer stuck. So I'm going to put the link in the comment section. And if you are a fit for me, and I don't invite everyone, it's application process only. But if you are a fit and I see and you see that there is value in this and you want to continue on forward with me, I will invite you to work with me on a deeper level. I look forward to talking to you and I hope you have a fabulous week. Take care.